Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we're continuing on once more with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we are doing Season 3, Episode 14, Bad Girls. Bad Girls, what you gonna do? This episode first aired February 9th, 1999, written by Douglas Petrie and directed by Michael Lange. Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of the show, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Yes, you are. So Eddie, Bad Girls. What was it like rewatching this episode for you?
Yeah, I really like this episode. It's a really important episode, and it's this marks a major turning point for the arc of the season. You see part of the mayor's plan, like he's become invincible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sort of
building him up a little bit. He's sort of just been there in his Thanos chair.
Yeah. You haven't really. Yes, exactly. He's been built up, but you don't really know what his plan is.
Mm-hmm.
This way, you're getting more of an understanding that there's something big about to happen, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's also the start of the feud between Buffy and Faith.
Yeah.
And we are introduced to the new Watcher, Wesley Wyndham Price.
Couldn't think of a more English-sounding name, could they?
No, not at all.
Wesley
Wyndham Price.
Oh, what was that episode of 30 Rock when they met Wesley Snipes as an English guy? That's what Wesley Snipes should look like, an English guy.
Yes, exactly. I think that was the big joke that he said. Oh,
it was Michael Sheen too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Michael Sheen. Yeah. Did you want to do the summary?
Yeah, I'll get that out. And back to it. So, while out patrolling, Buffy and Faith kill a vampire that was armed with swords, one short and one long. The next day in the school library, Buffy's new watcher, Wesley, identifies the swords as belonging to a cult of swordsman vampires who were once led by a demon named Balthazar. Wesley instructs Buffy to retrieve an amulet that belonged to Balthazar, who he believes to be dead. That night, Buffy finds the amulet, but a group of Balthazar's vampires arrive before she can take it. Faith impulsively jumps into the vampire nest and is joined in the fight with Buffy, who finds the amulet. After handing it over to Wesley, Buffy leaves to take a school test. She repeatedly tries to tell Willow and Xander about the previous night. Faith shows up at the window, and she and Buffy leave to destroy another vampire nest.
Hey, girlfriend.
Exhilarated, the two go dancing at the Bronze while Buffy meets up with Angel. He tells her that Balthazar is alive and looking for his amulet. When Wesley arrives, she takes the amulet from him and gives it to Angel for safekeeping. Buffy and Faith find Balthazar surrounded by his vampires, so they break into the sports equipment store to steal weapons. The police arrive and arrest him, but the two Slayers break out of the car, causing it to crash and injure the police officers. The following morning, the mayor is attacked by one of Balthazar's vampires, who was foiled by Mr. Trick. Balthazar demands his minions bring him the Watchers, kill the Slayers, and bring him the amulet. The enemy who crippled him is about to gain ultimate power and refuses to let this come to pass. Willow presents Buffy with a protection spell and is ready to go slaying that night. But Buffy tells her that it is too dangerous and she is going with Faith instead. The two run into several vampires and stake them all. Then Alan, the mayor's human deputy, grabs Buffy so Faith stakes him too. He dies before anything can be done and the Slayers scatter. Buffy runs into Angel, who tells her about Balthazar capturing Giles while Faith returns to Alan's body. Balthazar questions the two Watchers as to who has his amulet. Wesley is willing to tell him, but does not know Angel's name. Angel shows up with Buffy, frees Giles, and a fight breaks out. When Balthazar captures Angel, Buffy tosses live wires into his tub of water, electrocuting him. With his dying breath, Balthazar warns them of his enemy. In his office that night, the mayor performs a ritual that makes him unable to be killed. Buffy tries to talk to Faith about Alan's death, but Faith has disposed of the body and says that she does not care. The end.
Boom, boom, boom. Now, I was debating whether or not to do this in the next episode as a double episode. They're not really a double episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it does
it's a bit more serialized. episode.
Yeah, but it is serialized, and it's called Consequences, funnily enough.
Right, yeah.
And I just have a feeling I'm probably going to be talking about the same things
In the next episode.
But
well, can I bring up something?
yes,
The end scene.
Yeah.
The silent ending. Did you notice I did that? So as soon as the episode finished, usually the music kicks in straight away with the credits. This one didn't. Like it paused for like the first few moments, or the music didn't kick in.
All right.
So it gives that sort of dramatic.
Yeah,
I noticed that on my second watching it. Did the dramatic silent ending, which I've seen before in other TV shows. When something really bad happens, it's usually with sitcoms and stuff. It usually ends with people laughing and the crowd audience going nuts or something. But when something bad happens, it ends in silence. And I can think of another TV show that did the same thing, a different strokes.
Yeah.
So there's the infamous bicycle episode. Now, I was pretty young at the time when I watched this, so I didn't really know what was going on. So in this episode, Arnold, who's Gary Coleman's character, and his friend, I can't remember his name, they get friendly with a guy who owns a bicycle shop. And the episode ends with the bicycle shop owner taking pictures of Arnold and his friend. And then he tells his friend to take his shirt off. And to pretend to be like you're Tarzan or something, and like pumping your fists up. And I remember watching this as a kid and not really thinking anything was wrong until the episode ended with the silence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was, as I said, I was young. I didn't think it was anything. They were doing anything wrong. It was just like taking pictures. Like, okay, I'm taking pictures. But it ended like that. I'm like, ooh, okay. Something's not right here. It's quite an famous episode. So the silent ending is always an exclamation mark. There's the shit's sort of going down, or this is with Fate's last line. I don't care.
Yeah. And that will come back in every single. Previously on Buffy, they will replay that clip.
Where she says, "I don't care."
Yeah, I think for like the next 5 episodes.
Yeah. Quite sadistic, isn't she? Like the way she just said, "I don't care," with a big smile on her face.
Yeah, and it's sort of a shame because at this, it's a great start of this episode. Like you see them, that they're actually becoming friends. They're like really bonding together. They've got this real camaraderie going on.
And at the end, she's like,
"I don't care."
Even Buffy's even like being influenced by her.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, if you watch the show and the clothing that Buffy's wearing throughout, and it starts off, she's in all the pastels. I think she's even got like a little flower clip in her hair, and her hair's up and all whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And as it progresses, her clothes get darker. She starts wearing leather.
Yeah.
I think then at one stage she's in all black with her hair down.
Mm.
So she's in like really tight clothing, and then at the end she's back in her pastels.
Yeah. Does her hair get darker as well? Because I'm thinking of later seasons of Buffy, it looks like her hair's a little darker.
Oh, it's always blonde, pretty much.
Always blonde, yeah.
Just different shades of blonde. There's 20 million different shades of blonde. The thing that often comes up in this episode
yes,
is the lesbian subtext of it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't notice any of that.
Okay.
No.
But I think it is the way that Eliza Dushku kind of plays it a little bit.
Well, she's kind of
kind of flirt, but I think she's one of those girls that would just flirt with everyone.
Yeah.
Guys and girls.
Yeah, I don't think she cares.
I don't think she cares, and Eliza Dushku plays it that way because there's a couple of times she sort of just does these looks at Buffy like, "You're the best." These kind of looks. But mostly it's probably the faux lesbian dance in the club.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really lesbian-ish. Like, they're just girls dancing. I didn't see anything sexual between them per se. All I could see was Rogue and Jane.
Because I should ask you, have you seen this episode?
No, I haven't seen this episode, but I've seen the dancing clip.
Yeah.
And there's lots of parodies where it matches up with a X-Men episode. Where it's Jean Grey and...
It's X-Men Evolution.
No, it's not.
It's Kitty and Rogue.
Kitty and Rogue dancing. Yeah. And I'm not sure which will come. Is it actually parodied or does it just look similar? Is it just?
I think it just looks similar.
Yeah, because they're even holding their hands together, and then
yeah.
But girls dance like that all the time, where they hold their hair back and stuff, and that's a thing to do, isn't it?
Oh, they're sort of holding hands. Yeah, it's they're kind of gyrating, and I don't know. It's often done in subtext. I don't think it was meant to be done that way, but it was played that way. Faith is the loose cannon. She has trust issues, and she enjoys slaying. Just a little too much. But so far she's been fighting on the right side.
Yeah.
But at this point, she's been neglected, used, and abused by everyone around her.
Or in a show, or like in previous.
Well, I think you kind of find out, like,
because I haven't seen that happen.
She's sort of talked about all these ex-boyfriends. You've seen her try to talk to Buffy about it. You know that her mum's dead and her parents are dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's on her own. Her watcher got killed quite brutally in front of her. Then you had Gwendolyn and Gwendolyn Post kind of use her.
Yeah. So,
you sort of have the repercussions of what happened in Revelations.
What happened in Revelations?
That's the one with Gwendolyn Post.
Yeah, and what happened?
Xander pretty much points Faith in Angel's direction to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
To go kill him.
Yeah.
But doesn't really tell him that he has a soul or anything. He just...
Yeah, doesn't tell her
just
anything.
tells her enough.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't tell her the whole truth. Just enough.
To incite her, yeah.
Yeah, so that she would go and
I guess
try
you're right.
to...
She has sort of been used by people around her. And I was thinking maybe this is like...
But also neglected. Like, no one is looking after her.
Well, haven't they sort of tried to...
No, they haven't. And everyone's just like, oh, yeah, I guess she's put up that tough exterior that she's happy to be independent and alone. But no one's really tried to say, hey, do you want to not live in that dirtbag motel and wash your knickers in the sink? Like, it's, yeah. Like, why, Buffy's house has a spare... I like that. Yeah. Well, like, Buffy's house has a spare room. Why isn't she living there with Buffy? Giles, surely he should have taken her in at some point, but he hasn't seemed to take on her as much of a slave. Like, you see him training with Buffy, you barely see him training with Faith. And that also comes down to what ends up happening in that alleyway. Now, in a workplace, any workplace,
yes,
and a lot of people put this, they go on about Faith being, she's all reckless and blah, blah, blah and that. But there has been absolutely no one reining her in. At all. There's been no watch or reining her in. Has been no one training her. In every workplace, you need someone training you. She's kind of acting like she knows it all. Yeah. Which can also be a bit dangerous. I've come across that in my workplace. People thinking that they know it all and then, ruining a $100,000 job.
Yeah.
Like, I've come across it, and it all does come down to training
and mentoring as well. I think that's the important part. The mentor, the guide of what you should do, what you are capable of.
And as I said, she has been neglected.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So no one has reined her in. So you can say that she's reckless and whatever.
She's only 15. Is she? 15,
she's
16?
meant to only be 15 16 years old. She's younger than Buffy.
How did she get into the bronze?
Yeah.
Isn't the drinking age at 21?
No. Like, the bronze is an all ages play club or something.
Yeah. Oh, do they have that? I thought, that's weird.
No,
Underage people can go in there.
They would have to have it like that.
But everyone's drinking in there, though, isn't?
Oh, they're drinking coffee and soda. Yeah, they're not.
Are they serving alcohol there?
They are serving alcohol there.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't that a licensed premise? So you have to have people over a certain age then, I'd imagine?
Also a dive of a place in, like, the bad part of town.
Okay, all right. So assuming they're not operating with health regulations and stuff. That
has a fumigation party where you capture cockroaches to get drinks, remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, but America must have, like, if your drinking age is 21, my clubbing days were mostly when I was 18. So,
Yeah, true.
like, early teens, early 20s.
Yeah. But that's from state to state too. I think maybe some states have different ages, maybe.
Oh, I thought it was...
It's all 21?
I thought it was all
Someone
21.
tell us.
21 for a drinking age is ridiculous.
Yeah, you can get a gun like at the age of 12. So
Yes. I don't know. Europe is, if you can hold it, you can drink
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is I have heard like other podcasts and theories and whatnot, people saying that this is what happens when Slayers let the power get to their heads. I think I saw that, but
I could agree with that. Yeah, that could be just one of the accumulating reasons of where she is. The neglect. It comes down to being neglected, as you said, and being.
And neglect
mentored or
is also,
anything.
like, people often forget that.
Because there is a lot of power that she does wield, so a 15-year-old girl is probably going to abuse it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And she's been neglect is a form of abuse as well. So
is she working, or how is she paying it?
Well, obviously she's doing crime to...
Doing things on the side?
No, it looks like she robs that store.
Oh, yeah, she
does the want, take, have.
Yeah, one take, have.
She has that little want, take,
1, 2,
have.
3.
So obviously she's doing, she's stealing or whatnot to get by and just taking what she wants.
Absolutely, yeah.
But again, that's what she's been left to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there hasn't been anyone there to support her or help her.
Yeah.
So what else is she going to do? What are you going to do when someone has that much power and no parental figure?
Get your mother,
That's what I thought the Watchers Council were meant to be. They're meant to be a parental figure. Or not. Well, actually, they're not meant to be a parental figure. They're just meant to be superior figure. And let's talk about... Moving on.
Yes.
We'll talk about Wesley Wyndham-Pryce.
Wesley Wyndham-Pryce, yes.
Now, he is only in this season of Buffy, so he's only really in it to the end of the season. But he does go on to Angel.
Yeah.
And he is a major player in Angel and has a pretty eventful arc.
Yeah, I have seen bits of him in the in Angel, and he's not the English dweeb that you see him in his first episode. So he definitely does have a lot of character growth between this point and when he goes to Angel.
Yeah, and he is just...
And I think he's even badder than Giles from memory.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about this episode does deal with shadow selves. And, with, Buffy sort of embracing her darker Slayer side.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also got Giles and Wesley. And Wesley, Giles comes off as Ripper in this next to Wesley.
Yeah.
he's sassing the bad guy Balthazar, saying, just kill me now if you want me to, reach you hard to get places or something in the pub. His wise cracking.
Yeah. Is that kind of like your first day at your work and last day at work almost?
Yes.
The polarizing between those two.
Yes.
Your first day, you're all happy and giddyish and eager, and at the end of it, just kill me. Just get over and done with.
Yeah, you could almost do that photo of him at the start of Buffy to the end of Angel. Like what he looks like at the end of Angel. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh, God, what happened there?
Even did the synchronized glasses cleaning as well.
Yeah. I think that was... But, yeah, he eventually does turn into Ripper pretty much. And in this, Giles is looking like Ripper. He is looking like the Pompous. And then, there's sort of this reversal that will eventually happen.
And that they really geek up that actor too, because...
Oh, my God, because Alexis Denisof is actually a really good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And I have to go in about this as the story goes. On set, both Alison Hannigan and Charisma Carpenter were vying for his affections, and both had asked him out on dates.
Wow.
And he said no to both of them.
For a while.
Wait, I haven't finished.
Yeah.
Because he said he doesn't date co-workers.
Fair enough.
So he ends up working on Angel, which, as you know, Charisma Carpenter goes on to work on Angel. But he does, he's remained friends with Allison, and they are now, of course, married.
Still happily married, yeah.
Still happily married with 2 kids, and they do that adorable thing at Halloween where they do like the family-themed dress-ups.
Will they dress up as the characters from Buffy? Or
No, they dress up as all different, like, say, the Wizard of Oz, and they dress up as characters from the Wizard of Oz. And
yeah.
I think one year that they were kangaroos, and then I think their kids aren't very far apart. They both had pouches with the babies in. Yeah, so they do a lot of those matching.
And she's not acting much these days, is she? She's
Well,
pretty much...
she did. How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, that finished some time ago.
No, she was doing that Penn and Teller.
Tell a lie. Oh, no. Fool Us.
Yeah, she was hosting that for a while. But yeah, I think then after she's been working since she was like 7. I think she just decided to take a bit of a break.
Yeah. Well, good on her. She's done enough.
Yeah. But I don't know. She's probably one of the more successful people from...
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh,
Buffy?
Apart from David Borealis.
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also had quite a few.
So that show
shows.
Bones finished a while ago, didn't it? Or
Yeah, but he's in that. He's got that SEAL.
SEAL
one?
Team 6 or something.
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's currently airing. So he's just gone from show to show to show.
All right, yeah.
And he's still looking pretty damn
Yeah?
good.
Have you seen that video of him?
Jared. No. Yeah, and it still bothers me that they've only sent one watcher. Just one.
Yeah. Well, they're aware
Why?
of that. Oh, no, yeah, no, these people
Also,
seem competent.
Also what I think sets Buffy off on this little dark side whirlwind tour that she does is the fact that Wesley's really underqualified to be a watcher.
Yeah. Well, he's fresh off the boat, isn't he? So.
Yeah, and he puts her life in danger pretty quickly. Yeah, like going on about, oh no, that he's dead. I told you he's dead. He's dead. And she's like, well, obviously he's not. And yeah, it is that thing where Wesley comes in to replace Giles and tries to assert his authority and expecting both the Slayers to just take his orders without any real world experience.
The first 5 minutes he's been there.
Yeah.
He's dishing out orders.
Yeah. And they're just like,
You son of a bitch.
yeah, him going on, about, he's fought two vampires under
Controlled
circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, he has this arrogance about him. He's sort of this arrogant, pompous Wesley at this point.
Straight out of uni and knows it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've known those people before. Well, they think they know them all. Now, did you have a rabbit hole or anything that you went down this week?
I did. So I went down a little rabbit hole about a person called George Harrison.
Now, how did you get there?
So the video clip of I Got My Mind Set on You. You all know this song. Now, there's actually 2 versions of this video clip. And the first version 1, has a couple of kids like in an amusement thing, like playing some video games, whatever. And as you can see, one of the guys, it's Wesley.
Oh my God!
There he is. And he's all like...
he's so pretty.
Yeah, he's all like greased up and stuff, like greased the denim.
He looks like Ripper, like with the white shirt and jeans.
Yeah, his first ever credit. The video clip of George Harrison's I Got My Mind Set on You.
And he's very, very pretty.
Yeah, he's looking pretty spunky in that one.
Very, very early 90s pretty boy.
Yeah. So, just... I know maybe the Beatles probably deserve their own podcast. I'm sure there are other Beatles ones out there who could probably do a better summary that I can get. But I was just really reading more about George Harrison. But just on the Beatles, though, just quickly, I mean, I'll talk about an influential band. I mean, for the short amount of time that they were around, they're only around for 10 years. And the interesting thing to note is the albums that they made. So this is under some conjecture because although there's officially about 12 or 13 albums, some of them were like released differently in America with different tracks on it.
Okay.
So that's kind of the confusing part. Like they sometimes did that when they released an album in the UK. They would release one in the US, but with even a different cover and some different songs on it. So whether you could debate it's the same album or not. But that was something they apparently did. So for 10 years they released over nearly a dozen albums. Unbelievable. And would go down in history as the greatest rock band. But George Harrison, the quiet one. Is that true? Yes.
Yes,
it is. He was probably obviously wasn't the most successful Beatle, but they all had pretty successful careers once they finished. Obviously, Paul and John. I would probably say Paul probably had a slightly more successful career, I think.
Maybe because John Lennon
Possibly
died.
because he died, yeah. And he didn't write too many good songs, but they all wrote good songs. And George Harrison, a supergroup that he joined as well. Do you know about the supergroup he was in?
No.
Yeah, so he formed a supergroup, the Traveling Wilburys.
Never heard of this.
So you want to talk about the lineup of this? You had George Harrison, Tom Petty,
Oh, yeah.
Roy Orbison,
Wow.
and Bob Dylan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good lineup.
Yeah.
Surprised I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, you've heard their song. This is one of the most famous songs. This song?
No.
You never heard this song?
I hang
Handle
on.
with
Need
care.
to hear a bit more of it.
Being beat up and battered around,
That's George Harrison singing.
being sent up and I've been shut down. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. Reputation.
Yeah, don't recognise it?
Oh no, I've heard
Oh,
it.
okay,
I just thought it was a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, well, that's George Harrison singing, but I'm not sure about Roy Orbison. Like maybe he only did a few songs with them because I think he died like not long after they formed. Well, that's him, Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good songs actually. For a supergroup, they don't do that well.
No, they don't do
Yeah,
it.
but then when they do well, they do really well. I think like that's
About the only one
That's
that I
Bob
can
Dylan.
think of was like Temple of the Dog.
Audio Slave is
Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And what's Prophets of Rage then?
Oh, that was like a three-way. That was Rage Against the Machine, the guy from NWA, I think. I can't think of his name, and a guy from Cypress Hill. And a DJ from maybe another band, I can't think, Run DMC. Oh, the Run DMC guy, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was they only made one album, and that was it. They're all out. Got to see them, though. It was a good concert, actually. Mixed in with some Rage Against the Machine songs and some of the Cypress Hill songs. You know, got the hits from the bong. What's that, Daddy? But so George Harrison, he released a dozen albums too on his own. Not as successful as possibly other bands, but and he's been dead for 20 years now. So yeah, he was only 57 when he passed away. He was actually quite young, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So George Harrison, we all know him. You love him. Go check it out. That's an order.
All right. Back to talking about Buffy. Then.
Back to talking about Buffy. Are we doing the questions?
I was just going to bring up a few more points.
Yes.
At the end, the confusion around this episode is, did you know that it was the mayor that had injured Balthazar, had killed Balthazar?
I sort of got that, yeah.
And that the enemy he's talking about
Is the mayor, yeah.
is the mayor. And the reason why Alan was in the alleyway.
Yeah, what was he doing there?
He was looking for Buffy.
Right, so he was trying to thwart the mayor.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that confirmed? I mean, there was no indication that was going to happen. Or...
He had also let that vampire into the mayor's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was going to go to Buffy.
That's why I was looking so nervous the whole time. I just figured he's just one of those nervous guys.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's not, it's not spelt out. So I thought I'd.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And that scene where how Buffy knows it's a human and Faith doesn't.
Yeah. I know. She didn't even pause. Like the guy was obviously scared and he hurt himself when he fell to the ground and he wasn't doing the vamp face or anything. And she just just still stabbed him. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I said again, that probably would have come down to training.
Yes. Training. Yeah.
And reining things in.
Yep. Absolutely.
Being aware of your surroundings.
You idiot!
Yeah. But the fact that Buffy realizes, and there is plenty of time for Faith to stop. But if you see the way that they were fighting, that's the way that they were fighting. Because Buffy is the one that throws him. Yeah. And then Faith stakes him. But that's the way that they were working together.
Yeah. That was their thing. That was a tag team.
Yeah, they're doing this tag team thing. So, yeah, anyway. Let's go to question time.
Answer the question.
All right, Jared. Which character was your favourite?
I like Faith.
Yeah, Faith.
Yeah, Faith.
Faith.
Gotta have faith.
Faith. Which character do you love to hate?
Balthazar was quite a gross character.
He was very Doctor Who.
Moisturise. Moisturise.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Moisturise.
Yeah.
So how was he injured? What happened to him?
Something. The mayor did something to him.
So he was meant to be a vampire? Was he?
He was not a vampire.
Oh.
He was a demon.
So Balthazar. Now, is that a demon? I've heard that name before.
It's
Or is that
another.
just
It's often used as for demons. And
yeah. Wasn't there a Balthazar in?
there was a Balthazar in
Charmed. Oh, was that the Aussie guy?
Yes.
It's Balthazar.
Yes.
So this is always just a demon.
Cole.
Yeah. Is he just some head honcho minion or something?
I have a feeling it might be something in the Bible where there's a bad person called Balthazar.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
like an angel or something called Balthazar. Yeah, mine is definitely pompous, snivelling, arrogant, Weasley. Wesley
Wesley.
Wyndham Price.
Yeah.
At your service.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Go make some tea.
I'm waiting for him to become he does get better, but
Yeah.
it's a while yet.
It's a long slog.
It's a long slog, and he's going to be on the hate list for a while. And he's pretty pathetic. I think that's the thing. He's really pathetic. There's no air of confidence at all.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the most memorable fight scene?
I think that final fight at the end was. There's actually a few fight scenes.
There's a lot of fight scenes in this
I
one.
really couldn't. I suppose the final one was probably the most intense. The other ones are still pretty good, though. I thought the choreography is really good with the they do with the stunt people.
Yeah.
It's done really well. Like it almost looks like a Hong Kong action.
Yeah.
Just little snippets of it. I mean, it's nothing like it, but they even do a little speeding up of the.
I think
of
it
the
even
video.
gets. I think it even gets better as the show goes along as well.
Yeah.
Mine has to. So whenever I think of this episode, I actually always think of the fight scene where they bust into the vampire nest.
Yeah.
In the daylight, and it's just them with the stake, like they bust through the window,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, with the stakes up. You don't even really see much of the fight, and that just cuts to the bronze and them dancing. That's generally what I think of when I think of this episode, is that scene.
Yeah.
So
The hero's entry sort of thing.
yeah. So LOL moment.
I was just thinking, one just popped into my head where Buffy sees Angel at the bronze and she full on jumps on him and wraps her legs around
Yeah,
him.
the full mount. Yeah, the jump mount
The
that
jump
she does.
mount that she does.
And he's like, "Oh, you made some friends."
Yeah.
Oh, them? I like you.
But the one I did put down was when Wesley was introducing himself and he's babbling on. No, when she first meets him, she's like, is he evil?
Yes.
And he starts babbling on about whatever he's talking about. And
Gwendolyn Price says, is he evil?
Is he evil?
And Giles is just like, not in the strictest sense of the word.
Yeah, and then I think even Faith asked, "Oh, is he evil?"
Yeah, no, she's like, new watcher. I'm out of here. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I have to say that when Giles and him both sit down cleaning their glasses at the same time.
In unison, yeah.
Yeah. And the way that like Giles almost looks at himself in disgust when he does it. I'm like, I wonder if they teach that at Watcher School. Glass cleaning 101.
Glass cleaning 101.
Yeah.
Pass with flying colours.
Yeah. But that look of he's almost disgusted with himself that he has anything in common with Wesley. But also the Wesley big noting himself to Giles.
Yeah.
And going, I have in fact faced 2 vampires myself under controlled circumstances. And Giles is like, well, no danger of finding those here. And he's like, what do you mean vampires? And Giles is like, no, controlled circumstances.
Sure.
Favorite scene?
Do I need to tell you?
No, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the dance scene.
It's the dancing scene. Yeah.
I would have said the dance
Hello,
scene.
cutie pie.
The dance scene and then jump mounting.
The jump mount, yeah.
Jump mounting.
Quite perky, wasn't she?
And also but I actually have down as my favourite scene is Faith stealing Buffy out of the chem test through the window, and she does that little love heart. Like she does the little
Oh, is that blowing into the lesbian undertones? Is it undertones?
subtext. Yes. But yeah, she does that little, she blows on the window, draws a little love heart, and is like, I need to steal you away.
Where was the teacher?
I don't know, it was a test, and they were just like, we're on the honour system. I'm like, who does an honour system test?
That's the whole point of the test, isn't it? So you know they're not cheating.
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow the teachers at the school obviously aren't very good.
Yes, no, they're not. They're not. All the best ones are dead.
They definitely scrape the bottom off the barrel when it comes to teachers.
Hard to get placement there.
Yeah. Okay. Least favourite scene.
Xander rambling about college, that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have to give it that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with when they get caught by the police.
Okay, yeah.
Because again, they're just being a bit reckless. Like, wouldn't you just get in there and get out as quickly as possible?
Police got there pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that Buffy wanted to go back to the library to get weapons.
Yeah, well, they have plenty of weapons.
Yeah.
And decent weapons, not a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
What the hell was she going to do with a bow and arrow? She didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And she didn't even use it in the end. She just stabbed it with the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that they could have taken care of it that night if they had gone back to the library to get their weapons, come back, been sensible about it, got it over and done with. But no. They decide to go, and then they wait the next day. So another day passes before they go back there. So guy's in a hot tub, so he's not exactly going anywhere. There was no rush.
Yeah.
But yeah,
reckless.
Want, take, have. Anyway, which brings us to favourite quotes.
Between Wesley and Giles, Wesley remarks, "You're not helping," and Giles replies with, "I know. I feel just sick about it."
Yeah, I have one that I often use during everyday life, and it's Buffy going, "Whenever Giles sends me on a mission, he always says please, and afterwards I get a cookie." But I often do that when people tell me to do something, and I'm like, "Do I get a cookie?"
You might get a shortbread or a Tim Tam. You love Tim Tams, don't you?
I do like Tim Tams. Best Cordelia freakout moment.
I have the feeling maybe we need to take this question out. Like she's
not yet.
Not
yet.
I don't know. I feel like
end of the season. No, look, she does get another little arc to herself. So
yeah, we're still like 10 episodes away. So I don't know. She's barely been in it, really.
Yeah. So
she only had the one scene.
Yeah. So she came in to antagonize. Pretty much, she does this a lot. She will just come in to antagonize Xander.
And the rest of the gang too. She sort of puts everyone down again, almost.
Anyway, you have to understand that there's a reason why she's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But also remember that she goes on to be on Angel.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, she is a rich little brat from Sunnydale.
Vapid whore.
Yeah. But, she's spoiled.
Yeah.
But, she should be... Why is she in Angel? How does she get to Angel? Something has to happen in order for her to end up working for Angel. So you got to think about it that way.
All right. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying I'm not taking that question out yet.
All right.
Also, a lot of her little snarky remarks are actually really funny.
Yeah.
Because I've got, that's so cute. Planning life as a loser. Most people just turn out that way. But you're really taking charge. But did you get the other one that she said?
Oh, I just said that scene where she just... Well, it was really the only scene she had, so...
Yeah, all right. It was a bit of a Cordelia light episode, but don't think that you could have really had her doing much. To be honest, it was pretty light on...
Well, the cast has gotten a bit bigger now, so it's hard to... it's going to be hard to sort of have it in
but the episode was very focused on Buffy and Faith.
Yeah. I'm just saying with this ensemble cast getting bigger, it's hard to have
and now we've also added in...
And now we've got another character, yeah.
Now they've added in Wesley.
Yeah.
We've also got the mayor. He's going to become... those kind of scenes with the mayor are going to become more frequent.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Who gets the wooden spoon?
I said Balthazar.
Yeah, I had Balthazar and his hot tub soup.
Yeah.
And that water looked like you'd get a yeast infection from
gross,
it.
yeah.
It was pretty gross.
Mm. Imagine them filming that. That actor would have to sit in that big suit.
Oh, and it would have been that latex, which already smells.
Mm.
That substance has this horrendous smell to it already.
Yeah.
And then having to sit in
water for hours on end, I'd imagine. Oh, God.
Yeah. I was surprised it wasn't cloudy. It wasn't cloudy water. Yeah. It was like tea or something that they're pouring on him. Yeah, I had the same thing. Who's the MVP of the episode?
I said Faith.
Can you elaborate?
Because it's Faith. I don't know. Buffy.
She kills a guy.
She kills a guy. Yeah, she didn't mean
recklessly.
to. But she hit the body, so it's okay. Or dispose of the body in the meat grinder.
I went with Angel because he kind of saves the day. He's the one who tells her where Balthazar is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What he's after, and yeah.
Hides the amulet properly, and yeah.
And should have been electrocuted, by the way, because Balthazar was touching him when he was getting electrocuted. So
yes.
It should have gone through him as well.
Yes, but he's also a vampire. I don't know if vampires can die from electrocution.
That's what I was actually wondering, because I thought Balthazar was meant to be some sort of vampire or something.
No, he's not a vampire. He was also in a big tub of water.
Yeah.
On the ground.
Actually, probably nothing would have happened, really, to be honest. We've done the trick where you put if you have a, maybe I shouldn't say, you give people...
But this is a TV show. And the way that electricity works in TV shows is if there was water...
Okay, I seen an inspector do a test where he got a bin full of water, plastic bin, got a little hairdryer, put it in the water, it was still working, and stuck his hand in there. And nothing happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying if I try to kill myself by throwing a toaster in the bathtub?
Because you would probably have the metal taps that are there. So if you touch those, that'll complete the circuit.
Oh, okay.
So if you're not touching the faucet or anything like that, although I think the down pipe will be in plastic. But if you touch the faucets, that's when you'll get electrocuted. Okay. Yeah, it's got to complete the circuit.
Okay. But that's not how electricity works on TV shows and movies.
It doesn't usually kill you; it just makes your hair go up and fuzzy.
Yes.
And make funny noises.
And your skin, and you just get like little dark patches on your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Or in this case, little red patches.
Yeah.
What do you rate this episode out of 10?
I gave it 6 steaks to a human heart.
I went 8 out of 10 faux lesbian sexy dancers.
Faux lesbian.
I like that.
Yeah. Have you got anything else?
No, not really. I think that's it, is it? We done? Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right. Well, I am going to start this off, or end this off. Our great episode, Eddie. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy listening to us. I hope you're watching Buffy with me. I'm getting through these. It's all right, I guess. But Eddie, where can you find us?
You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com.
And be sure to like, share, subscribe. Catch our episode next week. Catch ya. Bye.
Bye.